Two horrible mass shootings over the weekend, one in North Carolina and one in Michigan. Government shutdown looms as congressional leaders in both parties promise victory. New York City Mayor Eric Adams drops out of the race for his reelection. And President Trump and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth deploy the National Guard to Portland, Oregon. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Monday, September 29th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. An arrest of the suspected shooter at Southport in North Carolina has been made after the shooter attempted to flee on a boat after killing 3 and injuring 5 in a mass shooting at a Southport waterfront bar. Here's Southport Chief of Police Todd Coring.
So good evening, my name is Chief Todd Coring with Southport Police Department. I just want to take time to brief our community about what's been going on this evening at the American Fish Company. It's located behind me at 150 Yacht Lacing Drive. Approximately 9:30 this evening, we got calls to our 911 center about shots fired at the establishment, that people were taking fire. As officers arrived and we're on the way, we got multiple reports of an active shooter possibly coming from a boat that was out in the intercoastal walkway. We have multiple agencies that have responded to assist Southport tonight, to include Oak Island, Boiling Spring Lake, Charlotte. North Carolina SBI is here. ATF is with us. The district attorney is here on site with us. Multiple partners are here across the county and the state, so we're certainly appreciative of that. Unfortunately, we do have 3 deceased at the establishment that we are dealing with right now, working crime scene, and we have possibly 6 that are injured at local hospitals that are receiving treatment. We don't have the names, and will not be releasing any names right now due to notifications that need to be made to those families. We just ask that we keep those that have been affected by this in your prayers and the thoughts in our community tonight. I want to say that I'm comfortable to say that there is no, we don't feel like there's any additional threats to the community right now. We're working the neighbor in Oak Island with a possible suspect, but we'll have more information on that at a later time. So again, I just want to appreciate everyone for being here tonight again. Keep the community and those involved, our families, in your thoughts and prayers.
And another horrible mass shooting and also arson attack ended with the shooter dead in Grand Blanc, Michigan yesterday. The shooter and arsonist crashed his pickup truck into the Latter-day Saints Church in Grand Blanc Township, and according to eyewitnesses, walked around the church building pouring gasoline before setting it on fire. And after the building caught fire, as individuals were running out of the church building to save themselves and their families, he began shooting the churchgoers openly, leaving at least 4 dead and 8 wounded. Here's Grand Blanc Township Police Chief William Rain.
During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims have been transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grand Blanc Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect, and that suspect is no longer with us. As I said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton.
We'll have more information on these 2 shootings later on the Tony Kinnett Cast this evening. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves and do any speculating. And with the government shutdown approaching quickly on Wednesday, Democrats and Republicans took to this weekend's Sunday shows to air their confidence in front of the nation that they would reach some type of agreement. At the moment, Republicans are attempting to pass a clean resolution, meaning a continuation of the current funds appropriated for the federal government, whereas many on the Democrat side of the aisle are calling for the expansion of healthcare expenditures for individuals like illegal immigrants. Here's Speaker of the House Mike Johnson on CNN's State of the Union Sunday.
So at this meeting tomorrow, Is President Trump looking to make a deal, or is it going to be like when Michael Corleone met Senator Geary? My offer is this: nothing.
Well, look, we'll have to see, but I can tell you where his head and his heart are. He wants to do right by the people. He does not want the Democrats to hold up troops pay. You know, the people who are serving in the military, they don't get paid during a shutdown. He doesn't want WIC funding, you know, women, infants, and children nutrition program being held up. He doesn't want telehealth and mental health and FEMA services to be stopped. That's what Chuck Schumer is holding hostage. Why? So that he can add $1.5 trillion in new spending at a time when we're simply just trying to keep the government going for 7 weeks so we can have those debates. It's wrong. He also wants to, by the way, what Chuck Schumer is demanding in exchange for all those good things I just listed, he wants to reinstate free health care for illegal aliens paid by American taxpayers. We're not doing that. We can't do that. That's just one of the crazy things he's requested.
Well, I think he would take issue with that. Here is what House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said on CNN Friday night about what he says Democrats are asking for, which is the continuing of the Obamacare subsidies being extended to American citizens only to prevent more than 1 million of those Americans joining the ranks of the uninsured. I'd like to hear your response. This is what Jeffrey said.
And all we're saying is let's find a path forward to actually fix the healthcare system that Republicans have broken for the good of everyone. They dropped this reckless partisan bill that continues to gut the healthcare of the American people, and it went down in flames. And so their bill is dead on arrival.
Is that demand for continuing the Obamacare subsidies, is that even on the table tomorrow?
Look, that statement by my friend Hakeem is absolutely absurd. There is nothing partisan about this continuing resolution. Nothing. We didn't add a single partisan priority or policy writer at all. We're operating completely in good faith to give more time. The only thing that would gut health care, using his own phraseology there, is if we took Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer's demand here, because they want to cut $50 billion from rural hospitals. That's the new fund that we added in the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cuts that we passed just a couple months ago. They want to gut that. They also want to hold up all this funding that I listed. I mean, the WIC program is something that we all champion for women, infants, and children nutrition. That would be held up. So it's exactly the opposite of what Hakeem is talking about. The Obamacare subsidies is a policy debate that has to be determined by the end of the year, December 30th, not right now, while we're simply trying to keep the government open so we can have all these debates.
And after mounting pressure from political adversaries and allies alike in the face of the potential election of radical socialist and pro-jihadist Zoran Mamdani in New York City, current Mayor Eric Adams, the Democrat mayor, has announced he will no longer be seeking his bid for re-election in the highly contested four-way race between he, Cuomo, Zoran Mamdani, and Republican Chris Silva. Here's Mayor Eric Adams coming down the staircase and making his announcement.
Nearly 4 years ago, Gracie Mansion became my home. Who would have thought that a kid from South Jamaica, Queens, growing up with learning disabilities could one day become the mayor of the greatest city in the world? And yet, despite all we've achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the campaign finance board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign.
And lastly, the Trump administration has officially deployed the National Guard to Portland, Oregon. In a memorandum from the Secretary of War, Hegseth wrote, quote, 200 members of the Oregon National Guard will be called into federal service effective immediately for a period of 60 days. These National Guardsmen are set to aid federal agents at ICE facilities who have been under siege by assailants, many coordinated with the now terror organization Antifa for the last couple of months. The state of Oregon has responded by suing the Trump administration, arguing that the deployment of the National Guard to Portland is unlawful. Now, as you may already be aware, At the present time, federal precedent has stated through the judicial system that the Trump administration has been allowed to use the National Guard in the way that is currently being deployed to Portland, Oregon, in the way that it had already been upheld in Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles. We'll keep you updated with all of those details on the Tony Kinnett Cast. Speaking of which, before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast so you can join us for a roundup of the day's news and nonsense at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.